Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you the fragrances that I actually wore in 2022. So I've got about 14 here for you. Some are ones that I wore kind of on a regular basis, and then I have my top 5. So I can't wait to share them with you. Before I get started though, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So this was the fragrance that was probably the most shocking to me, that it was in the most worn category. And just so that you know, what I do is I keep track, I document everything that I wear over the year. So that's how I know that I wore this one a lot, and I was really shocked. It is Angel Nova by Mugler. Now, the reason why I'm shocked by this one is I find it rather harsh, and I haven't quite decided if I like it even. This one, it has a very tart raspberry, so there's lychee and raspberry in this one. It has rose in it, and overall, I just find it to be rather harsh. It's got some woodiness in the base. And so this comes across to me as kind of a bright, very tart raspberry, very potent, and then dries down to kind of a woody raspberry. The raspberry stays present the whole entire time. So yeah, this one was a bit of a shocker to me. Now that said, the times that I did wear it, twice I got a compliment on this fragrance. So it's a compliment getter. It lasts forever on the skin. So it's great as far as longevity is concerned. And I can't wait to wear it actually more in the winter, because I think it would make a great kind of winter fruit fragrance, partially because it's just so potent. Next, I wore this more as a fragrance combo. It's La Nuit Trésor Nude. I couldn't get enough of this one during the summer. Wore it a ton. It's just a delectable, elegant, grown woman coconut. It doesn't smell like sunscreeny. It doesn't smell like the beach. It smells elegant. So it's absolutely beautiful. Basically what you're getting is a coconut vanilla. So what I enjoyed pairing it with was Pecho Yuzu by Kais. Now this one, it's a delicious, like an absolute delectable peach fragrance, but as it dries down on the skin, to me, it comes across as somehow a peach pastry, and I'm in love with this fragrance. So both of these on their own got worn a lot, but together they got worn a ridiculous amount, especially in the summer. That said, this combo would work in the winter time as well. If you're wanting something a little bit lighter area, elegant, delectable, this would be a great option. So love, love, love this combo. Wore it a ton. Next one that I wore a ton in the summer was QUATRE by Boucheron. Now this one is kind of a citrusy rose. So it's like almost a citrusy, watery rose. I put it in the same category as something like an IDOLE. So very classy, very kind of fresh rose fragrance. Easy reach, but in the summertime, as this dries down, there's kind of a sweetness that kind of develops on the skin. So I love this one, although it's a fresh kind of rose with that bit of citrus. The dry down is a little bit sweeter, a little bit sensual. So really enjoy this one. Very classy, great as a daytime fragrance. This would be great as a signature scent and also as a work time fragrance. I think that this would work great. This is QUATRE EDP Gorgeous. Next one that I wore a ton is Delina, or a Delina dupe. I was always wearing one of the two. So some version of Delina. This is the original Delina. Absolutely love it. Like, love this fragrance. So this is a beautiful kind of rose lychee fragrance. Very tart, sexy, sensual, but very classy fragrance. So I absolutely love this fragrance. Still haven't bought a full bottle yet. Need to do that soon. But I can't decide between this one or exclusive. What about you guys? What do you like best? The original or the exclusive? Leave it down in the comments. I'm kind of curious. Another one that's relatively new to my collection, but I wore it a ton once I got it, and that is Nina Ricci's L'Extase. I've talked about this a ton lately. I love this. It's a jammy rose, basically. So you're getting rose, but it's sweet, it's sensual. There's caramel in here. There's raspberry and peach. I just think it's absolutely delicious. And yeah, I want to wear it actually all the time. I love it that much. So Nina Ricci's L'Extase, really enjoy wearing this one. Love pairing it with like a caramel lotion. So Midnight Amber Glow by Bath & Body Works. Been using that a lot with this fragrance and it goes great. This also pairs really nice with the Only One by Dolce & Gabbana. So love wearing this on its own or pairing it with other things. I think it's my favorite in the line. Definitely will be buying a bigger bottle once this runs out. Next one that I wore a ton in 2022 was Elisab Le Parfum Royal. This one is, it's got mandarin orange in it. There's a few different types of rose in this. A lot of patchouli. It's kind of spicy. This I've said is my like powerful queen fragrance. So absolutely love this fragrance. It's super potent, lasts a long time on the skin, projects beautifully. It smells royal. The name's perfect for it. And yeah, if you want like kind of a tart orangey rose fragrance, this is perfect. I don't know why, but I always feel like somehow it's like Delina. It's actually nothing like Delina, except for the vibe that it gives. So somehow it gives me a similar vibe. I just think that this is beautiful boss lady fragrance. Love it. Next fragrance that kind of surprised me that I wore so much, because at first I just didn't like it, but now I'm in love with it, is La Vie Belle. This one is, there's blackcurrant and pear, and then it's just very syrupy sweet. It's got praline. There's a lot of patchouli in this one. This one tends to be one that guys really enjoy. But yeah, I wore it, and honestly, almost every time I wear this fragrance, I get a compliment. So this is definitely a winner in my book. Men definitely like this one. I know this gets quite a lot of hate, but the reality is that it's a bestseller for a reason. So La Vie Belle by Lancôme. Next fragrance that is relatively new to my collection, but I've worn it a ton since I got it, is Idole Nectar by Lancôme. Now this, it has the Idole DNA, but I find that the rose is just a little bit sweeter, and then this has caramel, vanilla, and popcorn in it. Definitely get that popcorn, vanilla, caramel in the dry down. So this one is absolutely beautiful. I often will get a compliment with this one too. It projects beautifully, lasts a long time. Really, Lancôme, they just make great fragrances. So love this one. This is the last one kind of in the list before I move up to my top 5, and it is Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. I would say that this is my favorite fragrance, honestly. I feel sentimental towards it. I think it's classy, long lasting. It's got a sweet orange. So this one, Elisab Le Parfum Royal, it has orange in it, but it's a lot more kind of tangy, almost tangerine-y feeling. This is more of a sweet orange, so just a very light, kind of almost airy, warm citrus in this with, there's like, I always call it the trifecta. So orange blossom, rose, jasmine, I think is in this. I actually think there may be some ylang ylang in this too. I can't remember. It has vetiver in it. It's got patchouli, vanilla. So this is just a beautiful fragrance. Works well as a signature fragrance. Grown woman for sure. It smells classy, but it's just it's pleasant. Like, I find this to be a very pleasant fragrance. When I want a fragrance that relaxes me, that smells amazing, that will last a long time on my skin, that makes me feel quite classy, I'll pull out this one for sure. Now moving to my top 5 most worn fragrances in 2022. I'm gonna start with Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. This is a beautiful kind of sweet, there's patchouli in here, lavender fragrance. There's a sweetness to this fragrance, a slight spiciness. The lavender definitely comes out. Some people find this kind of masculine. I find it extremely feminine. But the lavender is definitely present. So if you don't like lavender, you're not gonna like this one. It's sweet, it's delicious, it's very classy again, and I love wearing this one. It makes me feel calm inside. It reminds me of being a mom, and yeah, love, 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 love this fragrance. Next fragrance that got worn a ton in 2022 was Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana. Now this is it's just delectable. This one, there's coconut, there's, I think there's some ylang ylang in it, has magnolia in it. It's just delicious. To me, this smells like some sort of tropical paradise where like the colors, there's turquoise and oranges and kind of corals and just almost like a fantasy world. That's what this smells like to me. I find this one to be rather relaxing as well. It smells quite syrupy, but somehow, even though it smells syrupy, it's good in the summer heat. I really, really enjoy wearing this one, and I'm so glad to have it in my collection. So Dolce Garden by Dolce & Gabbana, one of my favorite from Dolce & Gabbana for sure, and definitely my favorite out of this Dolce line. So the one with the flower, this is really the only one that I really, really love. And it's gorgeous. I love it. I find it really, really relaxing as well. So gorgeous fragrance. Now this next one comes in third as the most worn in 2022, and it is Jasmine Wisp by Rasasi. Now this is extremely polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. I happen to love it. There's kind of almost like, honestly, it feels a little bit oody to me somehow, but there's a bright fruitness. It's bright fruitness. This one has so many notes in it. Like it's got peach, it's got coconut, there's white florals. It doesn't technically have jasmine, but it's got white florals in it. So some sort of mix. It smells slightly woody. It's got passion fruit as well. Passion fruit, I'd say, is probably the key note in this one. It's obnoxious, it's in your face. I get compliments from this as well, although like I said, lots of people hate it too. I find this to be a really fun fragrance, so when I want to be put in a good mood, this would be the fragrance that I would choose. Just love this. Jasmine Wisp by Rasasi, but it is obnoxious, in your face, and not everyone's gonna like this. So definitely not Blind Buy worthy at all. In number 2 spot as most worn in 2022, I have Angel Muse by Mugler. I've had this one for quite a while in my collection, but only recently do I get that major hazelnut feel. Prior to that, I always got more patchouli and grapefruit. Now I get kind of a really nice mixture of all of them. I love this. I find it cozy. I find it grounding. I've worn it a ton through fall and will be wearing it a lot in the winter. I really enjoy pairing it right now with Angel Share, or I've got Angelic Elixir from Dua. Absolutely beautiful. So really enjoy wearing this. It smells like chocolate hazelnut on the skin with some patchouli. If you don't like patchouli, you're not gonna like this. But I love it, long lasting, and yeah, somehow I find it super grounding and cozy, although a lot of people just find this uber sexy. I don't know, I find it more grounding and cozy than sexy, but it still is pretty sexy. Anyway, Angel Muse by Mugler. And number 1 most worn fragrance in 2022 was Scandal à Paris by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So this, it's honey, there's pear. The pear is kind of fresh. It has jasmine in it. What I find about this one is that the pear kind of balances out the honey and the jasmine. So where that would get like pretty syrupy, cloying, sexy, the pear kind of adds a freshness to this one. I find it really fun to wear. I find it very kind of girly. So I wouldn't say that this is a grown woman fragrance. It's definitely more flirty, feminine, girly fragrance, but I really enjoy wearing it. I find it very uplifting and energizing somehow. I also find that it lasts a long time on my skin. Like, it's not like a major powerhouse, but I get like a good 6 hours out of this, and I find that it projects really well. So this is a huge favorite of mine. It definitely feels for me very, very uplifting and energizing. So I find it cheers me up quite often. So really love Scandala Perry, and definitely most worn out of 2022. And that is it. What about you? What were your top 5 in 2022? What did you wear most? Please feel free to leave it in the comments. We would all love to know. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.